This episode of Ties I Help is brought to you by Audible. What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about the new Amazon Kindle Fire. I'm going to be giving you a rundown of all the specs and a walkthrough of the OS. Alright, so let's start off with the device itself and the specs. This thing is 7.5 inches long with a 7-inch multi-touch display. It has anti-reflective treatment. It's 1024 by 600 pixel resolution at 169 pixels per inch. And this thing only weighs 14.6 ounces. This thing has 8 gigabytes of internal storage. After everything's installed, you kind of get around 6 gigabytes. And of course, you get Amazon's free cloud storage. Now here on the bottom of it, you have a very awkwardly placed power button right here. I don't know why they put it on the bottom, but they did. Right beside that is the micro USB charging port and the 3.5mm headphone jack. And on top they have the 2 speakers, which is kind of backwards from all the other devices we've seen. And now let's give you an overview of the OS itself, starting by hitting the awkwardly placed power button. Here on the lock screen you have a wallpaper that changes constantly. You got the time, the date, and then you basically just swipe to the left to unlock. Now here is the home screen of your Amazon Kindle Fire. This is running Android 2.3, but of course it has Amazon skin over it to make it their own twist on it, I guess. Now here at the top we have the notification bar where you can actually tap right here and it shows the notifications, similar to Android, obviously, because it is running Android. Let's tap home. You also got the time up here and then the settings along with the power and Wi-Fi signals over there. So if you tap this, you can actually lock it because this does have an accelerometer. So if you lock it, it's just like on the iPad, where if you turned it, it won't turn if you lock it. So that way, if you're laying in bed or something like that, you don't want your screen to be turning. There's also the volume button where you can actually control that, the brightness, the Wi-Fi, the sync, which will actually just sync up your device, and then you can tap more, and then you've got tons of other settings in there. You can see your Amazon account, you can change your sounds, your display, your security applications, where you can actually go in here and force quit some of the applications, stuff like that, basic Android stuff. So that's a quick little rundown of the settings. Now here on the home screen, at the very top you see that we have a search bar. That's where you can basically search anything. You can search on your library, which is anything on your device itself, and the web. Now here's the keyboard. You see this is basically the standard Android keyboard, but I don't know, I kind of do like this. It's kind of their own skin over it, and I kind of like this keyboard, and I like typing on this 7-inch tablet from what I've seen so far. The only thing I do hate, because I'm used to the iPhone and iPad's keyboard, is the back button is not in the same place, because I keep hitting the letter P, but that's not its fault, I guess. So there's the search. Now here at the top you have different categories of stuff. You got your newsstand, where actually all your magazines and everything are going to be. You can go organize these by cloud or device. So these are the ones that are actually just stored on your device, and then in the cloud. Let's go to store, which is over there in the top right. That's where you can buy all the magazines and subscribe to them. If I tap on one of these, you can see that you can subscribe to it. You can buy the current issue for only 75 cents or just subscribe to it. Anyways, that's the magazine store. Pretty cool newsstand if you want to use that. So next is books. They also have this. This is on the cloud, or you can store these on your device in case you're not near a Wi-Fi network. And then again, up here in the top right corner, you got store where you can tap, and you actually get a choice of any book that Amazon sells. So they got, of course, hundreds of thousands of books in here for you to choose from. That's what Amazon's known for with their Kindles. So obviously this is going to be good. Now, I'm not sure if you guys would want to read on this if you're used to reading on a Kindle, because this is a regular display. So it's not like going to be the e-ink technology. So if you can't sit there and stare at this for a long time, that may not work for you. Next is music. Where you can actually just browse through all of your music, the ones in the cloud or on your device again, and then you got store up there in the top right corner where you can go in here, purchase music. You can also, if you tap on music, you can preview it by tapping the little buttons over here. That's basically it. Then you got video. This is really nice because if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually stream all the Amazon Prime instant videos on here. So you hit view all. If you are a Prime member, and you can watch all their free stuff that they have, organize it by TV, movies. You can also go in and add it by, or search it by category, action and adventure, comedy. If you want to, you can tap on these and you can play them. You can also rent movies from here, just from the regular Amazon store, also TV shows. So that's pretty cool if you want to do that. And that's pretty much the Videos app. Here at the bottom, I didn't mention this, but you got the home button on every page. That's how you can get back to the home screen no matter where you are. You got a back button, and then you've got this where you can have different little settings for each app depending on what you're in. Also, you got docs where you can actually organize and look at your documents here. You got an email that actually gives you, which mine is timeoffemail@kindle.com. You guys are probably going to send me a lot of documents. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, there's the documents, no store for this one. It's just so you can view your documents. Next is apps. Now Amazon has actually put their own app store on here. This is not the Android app store, but Amazon does have a pretty big selection of apps, but you're not going to get everything that you would on Android. For instance, I was trying to search for Spotify. They didn't have it. So here's all the apps that we have in the cloud, and then you can see all the ones we have on the device. And then you got store up here in the top right, so you can actually see Amazon's App Store. They do have paid and free. They got different categories here for you. So if you want to look at news apps, or you want to look at games, they got that. So let me go back into this, go back into the store. So they got games. I tried Angry Birds on it. It played just fine. I know a lot of people were saying it looked like it was choppy in my first video and the unboxing and first impressions. It kind of does seem like that at times, but when I was playing Angry Birds, which isn't a super hard game to run, it didn't have really much lag to it, but it kind of seems like when I drag, it's just kind of laggy behind my finger. I don't know how well that translates on video, but like, I don't know, it's just kind of like the scroll is delayed like half a second, but it isn't bad. Anyways, all these purchases go through your Amazon account, so you will need an Amazon account for this. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. This is highly integrated with Amazon Prime, so if you're not a Prime member, or you got one of these for your kid, it's not going to be that good, because, I mean, I know other devices connect to your, like, iTunes account or anything like that, but, I don't know, like, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you're not going to get access to a lot of stuff. So yeah, the Amazon App Store does have a lot of apps, but it's not really anything compared to the Android App Store. And then of course you got web. Now here they're actually supposed to have a new technology called Silk, which is supposed to make your web pages load faster and kind of take out all the crap you don't want because I don't know, it just does it on their servers, so it's supposed to be faster. For me, it's actually kind of slower. Like now, right now, I don't have the best Wi-Fi connection, so it's not gonna be fast either way. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem as fast for me. Like you see when I tapped on that, it started refreshing. It loaded it pretty fast, but I don't know. It's just basically a web browser. I don't notice any speed differences. I was hoping it would be a lot faster, but from what I've seen, it doesn't. You can play YouTube videos in it, so that's nice. You got tabs up here at the top. You got your address bar here at the bottom. You can tap the little info button or settings thing. You can add bookmarks. You can see your history, downloads. You can share the page. I tapped on something. I tapped bookmark. You can find on page, and you can tap settings. Settings, you can change basically all your settings for your web browser. And it's basically just like any other web browser on any other device. You can tap to zoom on it with 2 fingers, just pinch to zoom. It works. I don't notice any speed differences in it. It does look nice. I kind of do like the layout of it, but sometimes I don't know if it's the device itself, but like when I'm just tapping up here, sometimes it doesn't work. Like right there, I was trying to tap the other tab. Like sometimes it's just a little bit delayed. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not the browser. Maybe it's just the Kindle, and maybe it's just because a ton of people are using the Kindle Fire right now, and it's taking a hit on their servers. We'll see in a week or so after everybody isn't using this thing all at once. So there you go. There is your main categories of apps. Now the home screen is a little bit confusing. I don't really know what to call this section right here, but basically it's whatever you've opened up recently. Now, if you open up a web page, like for example, I just went to ESPN.com just a minute ago, and that was up here until I added it to my favorites. But basically, this is your recent stuff. So let's say you went to a porn website, it's going to load up here. Not to say that I would do that. I would not do that. But it's going to load up here. I can't figure out how to remove these. If you tap on any of these, basically just ask you, or if you tap and hold down, it asks you if you want to add these to your favorites. I don't know what happened right there, but my tablet just like refreshed. So it only asks you to add to your favorites. I haven't figured out how to remove any of these, so I don't know why they have it like this. Now, one thing I don't like is that some of these icons are kind of like bigger than the other ones. Sometimes, actually, just a minute ago, these look pixelated. Maybe that was why it refreshed to fix that. But I don't like that these are different sizes. So that's basically your recent things. Don't know why they had that. Don't know how to remove stuff from it. I do like the layout where you scroll back and forth, but I don't like how everything is different sizes and how you can't remove stuff, or at least to my knowledge. Now here is your favorites, which you can scroll up or scroll down. I think you can add more of these just depending on how many icons are here. I'll open up more for you. Right here I got a web page, so you can link to basically anything you want to. Just took me to the web browser. Of course you got apps like Facebook. This is just a link to the web browser, so it's basically like a link to the web page. Now Amazon is a link to the actual app itself, which I don't know why I did that. There we go. It loads up the app. So some of these are web apps. Some of these you can make web pages to go actually to a web page, or some of these are links to a web page. So yeah, like I like the layout of it, like how the layout works, scrolling from side to side and stuff, and having your favorites down here. I just don't like the look of it. I don't like that some icons are bigger than others. As you see, the Evernight icon right here has white around it, so I don't know, they need to do some touch-ups there, but other than that, the layout is good on the home screen, but just needs to make a few changes to make the overall appearance of it look better. And I'm going to open up one game for you, and that is Angry Birds, which seems to play okay for me. It is kind of like, as you see, and I just tapped that, and it took like 2 seconds for it to respawn. Don't know why that is, but I hope they get that fixed. So I'm going to turn this sideways, and I'm going to tap here. So there you go, there's the audio. That's what I was hoping was going to work. As you see, or you can hear, the speakers are pretty good on this thing. Now one thing I hate when I'm holding it in my hand, I kind of cover those up, but it still does sound good even when I'm covering up the speakers. So that's one thing I notice is good on this thing. Let me mute this so I can actually talk. So the game works pretty good. As far as loading times, right when I tap, there's kind of like just a lag in everything when I tap it. And then there's also a problem I ran into. You see that I'm just doing a regular tap, but it thinks I'm trying to scroll. So you got to do a quick little tap, and I can't even tell if it's tapping on it because it's not loading. There we go. It's doing the same thing here. So they need some improvements as far as the touch and just the lag in the whole device itself. But overall, when you're playing the game, it seemed to work pretty good for me. Watch this. I was about to say. Anyways, so there's Angry Birds. You can play a ton of games from the Amazon App Store. And again, like I was telling you before, in any app, you'll have this little bar down here that you can scroll up if it's not already there. And you can go home. You can hit here to go to the settings. And that's pretty much it. And then also search. So there you go. That is a quick little overview of the Amazon Kindle Fire. Now before we head out of here, let's take one last look at our sponsor for this video, and that is Audible, which just so happens to have a really nice Kindle app. Audible.com is the leading provider in downloadable digital audiobooks and spoken word entertainment. Audible has over 100,000 titles to choose from in all genres, including fiction, non-fiction, drama, comedy, business, sci-fi, everything basically. And you can play these all on your iPhones, your iPods, your MP3 players, anywhere at any time. Now I don't know about you guys, but it's hard for me to tackle a written book. I ordered the Steve Jobs book, still haven't even read it. I've got like 3 pages in. But what I'm going to do is actually download the audiobook, because I know I can listen to that. I can do it while I'm working, while I'm riding in the car, or walking my dog, or just anywhere I want to while doing other things. I seriously love Audible, and I think you will too. If you want to try it out, go to audiblepodcast.com/Ty. You'll get 1 free audiobook download of your choice. You can keep it forever. The book is yours. Again, that URL is audiblepodcast.com/Ty. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you click the like button down below. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me out a lot. Also, make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube, because that will let you know when I post new videos. After watching this video, let me know what you guys think about the Kindle Fire in the comments down below. Will you be getting it? Do you want to get it? Or are you not going to get it? And for what reason? And that's about it. I will see you guys in the next video. So long, boys.